We've arrived in Warrenton, Virginia, the Homesteaders of America conference, and it's overcast. We didn't bring rain gear, so hopefully it's all good.
There's indoor venues, so we'll be able to do that. I don't think it's going to rain today. We may have some damp times.
Yep.
Hey, it is outdoor, but we're adults. We can cope.
We can cope.
We're homesteader people. We know what the weather's all about.
Alrighty. We're
here at the Homesteaders of America conference.
We got our band.
It's just getting started. We'll kind of let you take a look at what's going on around here. It's just getting started up. Not a lot going on yet. People are starting together. We were among the first 100, actually probably about the first non-vendors here. We came in before they shut the parking lot down. But we didn't know how long it was going to take to get here, so we weren't late.
Nope, we were. So we already met people we know. Yoo-hoo.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
At home with the cases.
So this is the first year. We thought it was the second year. Yeah. First year for this, and they sold out the venue, so they're most likely going to have a larger venue next year so that they can have a lot more capacity. So it's great. Looks like it's going to be well attended. It's going to be a good time for all. We're glad to be here.
Super.
Hi, I'm Mel from Honolulu, Hawaii.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Allison.
Okay.
And they came just for this conference.
So we traveled here all the way for this conference. And we just turned our whole trip into being here and then doing other stuff around it as well.
Yeah, so we're kind of excited. It was like a 24-hour flight just to get here.
But it was, this would be happening any day of the week for 18 months.
I came a long way to be here today. I came all the way from the Idaho Rockies. I don't speak very often. This is a bit of an exclusive engagement, and so of course I say to myself when I'm coming here, what can I say in this amount of time? How can I pack generations of knowledge and inspiration into one talk? I wrote 10,000 words. It's all in pages here, and then I said, I just want to talk to people.
How you doing?
We found some friends. Introduce.
Hi, I am Jake, and this is Becky.
Hi.
And our boys Eli and Uriah. That's Eli. There's
Hello.
And we're with the channel White House on the Hill.
I am Megan. I am from Creating Essence.
Yay!
Yes.
And her husband.
Hey, I'm Josh.
Josh. May I film your children?
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Or not.
That's the shy one.
And this one, is that good, Solomon? And yours is good? Look at those eyes. Oh my goodness. Those are so pretty.
Hi.
Hi, and you're Gabriel.
Yeah.
Right? And tell me your name again. Oops.
Annalise.
Annalise.
People have abdicated any relationship with their kitchens and know so little about anything they're eating. Ultimately, you cannot have honest, integrity food without a home-centric food system.
So this is Tamara, and this is Tamara's Creations. And she just found me at the Homesteaders of America conference, and she'd been in correspondence with me about meeting her here, and she gave me a different one, but this is an egg apron. So you put it on and you stick your eggs in it.
That's a 140-pound Anatolian shepherd named Duke, who loved me and I loved him, and I know that's a weird thing to say when you come to find out that he tried to kill me on December the 9th, 2016.
That we're able to connect with the kids and break that cycle of the co-opting that's going on in America with sending their kids off and learning this stuff, and everything they're learning has almost nothing to do with their health and their nutrition and growing food and where does seed come from and eggs and everything like that. So, you are the reason why Stacy and I and you and all the kids, and of course your adults, but is to connect with you guys so we can help bring up the next generation of people that want to grow food and want to lead a healthier lifestyle.
I think the reason that I homestead, the biggest reason why I homestead is that Nothing else uses my full capacity, and nothing else has enough room for what I really am. Humans are powerful. We are powerful machines. We can use our bodies to make things happen and to make things work. And we have powerful minds. We can design our own systems. We can take care of ourselves. And I was out there in a world that expected a whole lot less of me. And now I live off-grid on my homestead with my family, and everything around us we made. Our power is all around us. And we're able to go through the world knowing there's no such thing as hard times when you can do things for yourself.
So it's the morning after.
It was a great conference. A lot of fantastic speakers. There were people from
everywhere.
Almost far away as Hawaii.
And what we've done so far on this video is just giving you some little snippets of each person. Some of those people we're going to go back and give extended longer
we didn't
things.
get to talk to everybody we would have liked to have talked to.
We didn't get to video.
Well, we talked to a few that we didn't video, which we were awestruck, perhaps, or just surprised and didn't whip out the camera.
We didn't get to video the Pratt family. It was very nice to meet them.
Yeah, it was great.
We didn't get to video At Home with the Cases, and I don't even know your first name, but we did get to talk to you quite a bit, and he was there with Beard Commander, I believe, his product, which was great. And so those are the two that I absolutely positively met. It was really fun having people come up to us and say, "Where do I know you from?" "Oh, wait, you were on Justin Rhodes." "He did a piece on you," and we're like, yes. It helped that we were wearing the shirts because people came to us, and we just had a really good time. I got to buy a wonderful product, which I'll highlight at a later time because we've had it sent to our house, but it's churn.
It has to do with butter and churning.
Churning.
That's enough for now.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it
so
later.
Cool. Got to see fermentation and got to ask all my questions, so I probably won't have any fermentation failures now. One thing I discovered that I did do was make way too much, because what they told us is that we can't store it in cold storage because it needs to store at 37 degrees or less. So if you have cold storage that stores that great, then that's wonderful. But I was making these huge jars and didn't know what to do with them. And they make smaller jars, eat them, make another batch.
It's a make and use kind of situation.
Yeah.
Interesting thing about real food, right? Big surprise.
Well, one person, I know we bought some, we were able to buy some so we can eat it here. And one person said, well, I want to be able to can it so that it'll last longer. And they're like, then you get rid of all the probiotics if you can them. And so real food, you eat it. What is the saying about real food? You eat food that spoils. Yeah, real food is food that spoils.
Yeah, that's a great definition. Real food or whole food is food that spoils.
And you want to eat it.
Eat it before it spoils.
Before it spoils. We got to see, as you saw in there, hand hewn, doing the pig. Great guys, really personable.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have had some time to go up and talk with them. And
watching them in person gave me the courage to try to do that on, a larger animal that we at some point will want to process ourselves. Yeah. It's a lot of work. I think what also helped us too is watching our daughter and son-in-law as they got an elk this year, a cow elk, and quite an ordeal to get it off the mountain. They were back in several miles of walking. Total another story. But watching them as together, they processed it. It took them a couple of days to get through the whole thing.
Several days.
A lot of work, but for them, it's a year's supply of meat.
And he takes the responsibility of feeding our daughter very serious. And for him, it was absolutely important that he get an elk so that he could feed his wife. So he's a super son-in-law. We didn't get much more from Joel Salatin than you're able to see there because they asked us not to film the whole thing. I would have loved to have filmed all of Esther Emery's an amazing, amazing, amazing talk that she did without one note. But didn't out of respect to her and their request, we did not videotape the whole thing.
One presentation that I really enjoyed, Rhenda got in at the last few minutes of it. Actually, he went overtime, so we had to leave to get to the next one, which is unfortunate, was Daryl Patton, who is an herbalist, Southern herbalist. Interesting guy, Southern talk, always fun to listen to. But what really caught my attention is herbs have been an interest, not something we've pursued. As I listened to a lot of his stories and a lot of his descriptions, the light bulb went on.
Yep.
And
it's time.
It's time. It definitely is time. And a lot of times there's a question about what's the science, and I'm finding that to be an inappropriate question, because what's the science? What does that mean exactly? I mean, I understand what people are asking when they're asking that question. And I realize that anecdotal evidence of this was my experience doesn't hold as much weight. But I got to tell you, when a lot of people do something and it works consistently, that works. But what he pointed out is that what had been anecdotal evidence that somebody had done something for their entire life and had been successful using herbs to cure certain ailments. And then the science finally discovers a connection of a certain chemical that has to do with the healing of that, and they turn it into a medicine, and lo and behold, the herbs that were being used for centuries contain that same chemical. Well, the light goes on. I mean, medication is chemical. Herbs are chemicals. However you ingest them, and the medical world, scientific world, is discovering more and more of ways to bring that in, and the different chemicals and the effects that they have. But there starts to be a connection between the chemicals of herbalism and all of these wives' tales and so forth,
which
and
are
the
true.
Scientific medical evidence today. So are all of those correct and right? No, probably not. I mean, you're not going to spray Windex on a cut and have it get better, for instance.
That is not an herb.
True.
Anyway, it was really cool.
Yeah, but the light bulb's on. This is going to be something. When do I find the time to explore this? I'm going to have to.
So many of you already do it, and I have several books on it. So we are going to get very much.
We need to get more.
Herbs.
We need to get serious about it, not just think it's a good idea.
One more person that we didn't get to see, but got to see her husband, was Sullivan family. She was there with her spinning wheel, and this is soap, and it's wrapped in felt and yarn that she spun. So I'm really excited to use this.
Well, the way they use this is you don't take it out of this. You just get it wet and just scrub it on. So you get the soap and a little bit of scrubbing action on your skin. Awesome.
And then really quick, I went to a place where they had yarn, and they had the sheep that they had made the yarn, and this is the yarn that I really love because it was so natural. And so she pulls out her phone and she shows me a picture of the sheep that it came from.
Not a sheep like the one it came from, but the sheep.
The sheep. And she says, and the one standing behind it is the other strand, and they're woven together. And she said, this will be enough for me to make a scarf for myself. Well, then I went back. Shouldn't have done that. The other lady I spoke to was Janet Garman from Timber Creek Farm, and she spins her own wool and dyes it with all natural things. And I asked 3 times what this one was dyed with, and I don't remember, because it was not something familiar to me. And this one was a bark off of something else mixed with something. So they're all naturally woven, and
a lot of something.
Sorry, these are alpaca and wool together. So this is another scarf. I was gonna buy it for someone else, but I don't know.
Take care of yourself first. Right? Put on the oxygen mask. Make your own scarf first.
Anyway, very fun, very exciting, and look forward to next year. We've actually volunteered, gave them our cards, said that we would like to be speakers next year on being able to help other people that are our age and younger and older learn how to be sustainable living in place.